we never really, as a people, we saw, perhaps not to the detail that we talk about, but ordinary people saw something was wrong. That is the British voted to leave. And so we can see Europe descending in a sort of a communist run, one world European government. I do hope that things are cleared up and Canada, Britain, US, Australia, New Zealand can actually get together and form a proper trade deal, properly work things out. And then countries such as India can join in. Russia, I think Russia depends on how much they've been influencing the steel of the election. If it's just very peripheral, I'm sure that there's a place for Russia. The real problem is China and Iran. Oh yes, and the other thing that I just wanted to say was that the Russian, I beg your pardon, the Iranian scientist in effect was killed by AI control machines. There were agents that had as well, but the witnesses assumed that those were the dead bodies of the assassins. They were actually the who were killed.
You guys, whoever's coming on, I'm just testing this stuff out. I'm trying to get some of my videos going. Let's see here.
It fired a burst of 9 rounds. 4 of those rounds went through the windshield of the first vehicle, and the rest targeted on the scientist who was standing about a foot away from his wife. So accurate was this weapon that didn't even harm the wife. It killed the scientist. And the other agents that were around then fired on the bodyguards. And then to try and get rid of the evidence, there was a self-detonation device which blew up the truck to destroy the evidence. But the Iranians are pretty good, and they did back engineer some of it, and they worked out how it had happened. And interestingly enough, we're just quickly on this, Mike Pompeo today having a chat, and he did make the comment, and if you picked it up, he said that America, in terms of, didn't say nanotechnology, I think he said microcircuitry, that America is ahead of Iran in microcircuitry. Now you might think, why would he say that? Because 7-8 years ago, maybe not quite as long as that, but one of the most advanced drones was brought down over Iran. It wasn't a Predator drone, it was a Sentinel drone, which you don't ever see pictures of really, because the Sentinel drone was brought down, and in the Sentinel drone was the most advanced microchips. When the Iranians got that, they closed the gap on America, and they actually overtook Russia, and they were within 2 to 3 years behind the United States. Well, the United States now has moved on, and that's why Pompeo is saying that now, from a microcircuitry point of view, the United States is well ahead of Iran. And that was another little dig at the weapon that was used, because microcircuitry had to be used for the downlink from the satellite to the machine gun. Anyway, I didn't mean to tell you that. I just want to give you an action, but there you go. All right, speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to a very short but positive update. This is the 7th of December.
All right.
I wanted to let everybody know that you probably are.
I'm just messing around with this stuff, and I figured out I go live. So let's see. What am I going to say?
To forensically examine some of the Dominion voting machines, and something like between 24 hours and 48 hours after that they felt they would have some sort of response in terms of the data. It's much quicker than that, and I have been told that the initial findings from the Trump team, 2 specialists they have in, ex-military, ex-veterans, and they
how you doing, buddy?
fairly confident that they found evidence of vote flipping from Trump.
Say hi to Willie.
So they
my buddy, huh?
Machines that they
my good guy, huh? You're the best guy in the world.
To investigate,
aren't you? Say hello. Look, there you are. There you are.
From Trump to Biden.
See?
If that
there you are.
And I have no reason to think that it's not. Then that is the end of George's Biden charge. That's the end of it. Finished.
Love you,
So I
guy.
wanted to give you that
Love you.
news. At this stage in the game,
All right.
don't expect
Now
that
let's see.
mainstream media. The only time the mainstream are going to have to carry something is literally when President Donald Trump puts his hand on the Bible, 20th of January, and says, I swear to uphold the office of president. I think up until then, the media is just going to pretend that Biden is going to get in. So that's a really important point, and I wanted to share that with you. A couple of other things you obviously, and I didn't respond to it immediately, but the other Liberty Bell in New York, of course, the church was burned down. That bell was something like 29 years older than the original one in Philadelphia. And we know that bad actors did that. If you think about from an American perspective, what Liberty Bell means, its history, but really what it means by burning the church down. These bad actors are saying that they don't care about the Constitution.
This is my YouTube channel.
Freedom, liberty.
And I think it says Mean Blues. It's David Wilkes. Let's see.
That's the message that they're sending. So that was about that.
Let's see now.
What's lost out?
That must be me
of,
and me.
America and other countries are
I'm gonna
the
go like
number of
this.
underground bases that are being hit at the moment by good forces. In other words, this vacuum, shall we say, politically, and the bad guys are on the back foot now because of the interception of their electronic communications. There have been a number of underground bases that have been looked at, and those of you who've studied these med beds, connecting consciousness, we've been approached by somebody to see if we can think about getting something like that up in our first healing centre in Britain. Just to let you know that a number of children and females who've been brought up from some of these bases very recently are being put on these med beds. And those of you who don't know what a med bed is, I'm not at liberty to say where these tunnels or bases were at the moment, but what I can tell you is that one of them was 5 miles down. So when we talk about deep 5 miles down, it takes quite a while to get to that location and quite a while to get back in with super fast transport. So whilst we've got this game, this theatre playing out with the elections, there are other things going on now that cover it. So that's good news. I wanted to share that with you. So that was really it on the updates. There's other stuff that's coming along, and we'll hopefully be able to bring that to you. But again, don't expect this at this stage to be in the mainstream. The mainstream is still doing everything they can to make it as normal as possible for a transition as they see it. And I've said it before, I just do not see how the world's media can extricate itself, can come back from this hole that they've dug themselves in. And if we're fortunate, it'll be the destruction of the connection between mainstream media and the general public. Hopefully for a generation. Hopefully for a generation, ordinary, fair-minded, decent people will absolutely switch off from mainstream news, and it'll just be the death of them, and they'll have to change. So good news, and I'll keep you updated as it comes along. All right, thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that's pretty much a good update on our very credible source. That's Simon Parkes from UK. He also has a channel. That channel is collecting consciousness. Right up our alley, guys. Okay. Simon is somebody you want to check out. Now, you got the stuff in the earth and you have the stuff in the sky. So if I go to this is something you want to see. All right. Next topic, Val 4. Valiant 4. Venusian. 1957. Stranger at the Pentagon.
Hi, it's Justin, and I hope you're enjoying my dad's videos. Make sure to share.
Possibly fine. And I went through it all and discovered about 80% of that information was bullshit. But there was 20% that was actually real UFOs, real aliens.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with, my main discovery, which is the Nazca lines.
Yep.
Okay, so I solved the Nazca lines.
Yep.
It's a terrible picture. And what happened was I printed out the map of the lines.
Yep.
It was from a historical society, made it in 1994 of the lines. Now, I was very interested in, the geoglyph pictures.
Yep.
Of the animals, the astronauts, the pictures of the geoglyphs is what they called them. But I really wanted to see the lines. I was very interested in the lines. So I printed out the copy that they have on the site, and I circled the 3 main points and realized it was Orion.
Okay.
Just as Stonehenge aligns to Orion, just as the Egyptian pyramids align to Orion, the World Trade Center footprint is also in alignment with the Giza pyramids and the Orion's belt. There are so many things that are Orion, and the Nazi death marches are in the shape of Orion. The secret deep underground military bases in the heart of America are also in the shape of Orion. So in any event, I circled the 3 main points, and at that point, I realized, holy shit, it's Orion. Now, it would take me about 6 months to a year to get the correct configuration. And what I realized is that half of the map, in the white, is the Historical Society made. And I realized that half of the map was missing. Half of the map was missing. At the time, I didn't know why, but I realized that what these pulsar star map, a 3-dimensional pulsar star map of the Orion Group's territory markings. The Orion Group is also is a satanic force who takes our system, and they're also known as the Black Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So what you have to, in order to view this, you have to be standing on the other side of Orion, looking through Orion to our sun, Sol, which is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Our sun, Sol. And behind Sol are Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo, the constellations. This told me many things. This told me that aliens made this, that aliens are real, and that aliens come from Orion, but these are territory markings. This says this is ours. This is ours. This is our planet. This is to ward off other extraterrestrials out there who show up here. This says go away. Now, the Orion Group is a satanic force. And so what I realized is that God and the devil are actually real. They're aliens. And I have numerous amounts of proof. Not only do I know where the satanic side of the balance comes from, but I've also connected the Nazca alien mummies, these little guys that were found in the Nazca Peru desert, to King Akhenaten. They're sitting with King Akhenaten in Egypt, and they were known as the one true God. So I believe that these little beings are actually God themselves. God. The God. The Christian God. So the Nazca alien mummies were found in 2016.
Yeah.
There were 2 different species found in the Nazca Peru desert. And as soon as I saw the x-rays of these beings, I knew that they were real.
Yeah.
About a week after, they released it in 2017 on Gaia TV. A week later, I realized that they were the same beings sitting with King Akhenaten. They're the same alien beings.
Yeah.
Queen Nefertiti and King Akhenaten. They were known as the one true God, or the sun god.
Okay.
And from that, I realized that